24,000 miles from Earth, humanity's most ambitious scientific endeavor is about to fail in the final moments. The guidance computer is completely overloaded, and the astronauts are plummeting blindly toward an uncharted, cratered lunar surface. Fuel is running critically low, and a single wrong decision in the next 60 seconds will result in immediate catastrophe. To understand how the mission reached this knife edge, we must look back at the technology that powered the voyage. Contemporary records indicate the Apollo guidance computer was an absolute marvel of its era, pushing the absolute boundaries of microelectronics. Yet by today's standards, it possessed only a minute, fraction of the processing power found in an ordinary household appliance. Its memory was physical, literally woven by hand using microscopic copper wires looped through tiny magnetic rings. This layout, known as core rope memory, was remarkably durable but left absolutely no room for digital error. The monumental task of creating the onboard flight software fell to the instrumentation laboratory at MIT. At the center of this effort was a pioneering computer scientist named Margaret Hamilton, who led the software engineering division. Biographers describe Hamilton as a visionary who anticipated problems others dismissed as entirely impossible. She insisted on designing software that could prioritize crucial tasks when faced with an unexpected workload. Her team developed an architecture called asynchronous executive, a system fundamentally built on priority scheduling. This meant if the machine ran out of time, it would drop low-priority routines to keep the spacecraft flying. July 20th, 1969, the lunar module Eagle detaches from the command module and begins its final descent. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin are entirely focused on their instruments, dropping toward the landing zone. At an altitude of exactly 46,000 feet, the absolute unthinkable occurs inside the cockpit. The computer display suddenly flashes an unfamiliar, cryptic 5-digit warning, a 1202 alarm. Neither Armstrong nor Aldrin had ever encountered this specific code during their extensive simulation training on Earth. Give us a reading on the 1202 program alarm. Armstrong radioed back to Earth, his voice remarkably calm. In mission control, the sudden alarm triggers an immediate wave of intense pressure. The clock was ticking mercilessly. If they did not respond within seconds, they would be forced to abort the landing entirely. An abort meant firing the ascent engine, abandoning the dream, and returning to Earth defeated. The responsibility to make the final call fell squarely onto a 24-year-old guidance officer named Steve Bales. Sitting directly behind him was Jack Garman, a computer specialist who kept a handwritten cheat sheet of error codes. Garman instantly recognized the code. The radar was flooding the computer with completely useless data. Because of Margaret Hamilton's design, the computer was not crashing. It was actively saving itself. It was deleting the radar tasks to focus every single ounce of its processing power on firing the landing thrusters. Garman yelled to Bales that as long as the alarm occurred only intermittently, the mission was safe to continue. Bales took a deep breath, keyed his microphone, and relayed the final verdict to the flight director. "We're go on that alarm." Capcom Charlie Duke immediately relayed the critical message across the vast expanse of space to the crew. We copy you on the 1202, Duke confirmed. We're go, astronaut crew. We're go, refusing to surrender to the panic of a malfunctioning system. Armstrong manually guided the ship past a massive boulder field. With less than 30 seconds of fuel remaining in the descent tanks, the Eagle finally touched down safely on the lunar surface. The immediate crisis had passed, leaving behind a profound baseline shift in how humanity engineered complex software. Researchers continue to debate whether the mission would have survived without the strict priority scheduling principles Hamilton introduced. The 1202 alarm proved that automated machinery could be designed not just to operate perfectly, but to fail gracefully under immense strain. Ultimately, the moon landing was salvaged not by a computer operating flawless calculations, but by an elegant system designed knowing exactly when to stop computing. It leaves behind a lingering question for a modern world completely dependent on automated digital infrastructure. As we hand over more control to advanced autonomous networks, will our machines possess the wisdom to tell us when they are failing? Or will we only realize they have overloaded when it is already far too late to step in and take manual command? That remains a question for the future.